Afternoon, guys. I'm Dave Canterbury with the Pathfinder School, and what I wanted to show you today real quick was I wanted to show you this workbench that's really just, for lack of a better term, a common man's family workbench. And the reason I came up with this idea was out of necessity. I had a lot of picnic tables to begin with in my overhang area here that I was using for workbenches. I was using to build things on and construct things on and cut wood on and all those types of things, and they were old battered picnic tables. And I decided I wanted to build something new so that when we had students out here doing workshops, whether it was green woodworking or blacksmithing, depending on what we were doing, we would have good work surfaces and good areas for the students to work. And as I started to develop this, I had these picnic tables custom made. They're a little bit more heavy duty than a normal backyard picnic table. But you could do the same thing with your picnic table at home. And I found that there are lots of advantages to this thing that make it very versatile as a woodworking normal type workbench that you would build if you were doing woodworking in your garage. The first thing I did was I took and I put 2 pieces of plywood on top of the normal workbench pieces, which are like 2x8s that are put together. Then I put a plywood top on there so that I have a good flat surface. Now I haven't oiled this thing yet, and you can see there's some paint on here, stuff like that for my granddaughter. It's not a big deal. All you have to do is sand it down and oil it, and you've got a flat surface again. The key to this thing is because you've got this nice flat surface on here with the plywood now, you can drill holdfasts in here, or 3/4 inch holes for holdfast. So if you're doing woodworking on this thing, you can slide your work in here with these holdfasts, and you're good and solid to do whatever you want to do. This will do everything that a normal workbench top will do for you. You can also put bench dogs or stops in here that are 3/4 inches like this, so that you can push work against the stops, just like this. You've also got, with the fact that this is a picnic table, you've got a comfortable place to sit down to work on things. You know, one of the things that I really like about this whole bench setup is that you've got these 2 outcropping benches here on this picnic table, so they're just the right height for cutting your wood on. They're the perfect height to come in here and use, just like you were using a 5-gallon bucket or a stool or whatever the case may be. And if you've got this thing drilled for holdfast anyway, you can put your holdfast in there, come in there and cut your wood just like you would if you were cutting it on an English saw bench. Simple as that. Pull it right out when you're done. And because you have one on each side, you've got multiple areas that you can work with students, with your kids, whatever the case may be, and then you also have the picnic table. So the versatility of something like this is phenomenal, because you can use this thing underneath an overhang or whatever to eat your picnic lunch on with your wife and kids when you barbecue out, but at the same time you can use this thing as a good woodworking workbench that gives you the versatility of not only the bench to work on, set power tools on, whatever the case may be. You also have a comfortable place to sit while you're working on small carving projects and whatnot. You have 2 vices on this thing that you can use to vise material depending on what type of woodworking or working that you're doing. And you have the height of these sawhorses or saw benches that you're sitting on that can be drilled for holdfast all the way down their length as well, to give you that much more versatility. And the thing with this is if you go buy a woodworking bench, even a kit woodworking bench, is going to cost you a couple $300. If you go buy the material, you could probably build a decent workbench for a couple of $100. Then you got to add the vices to that. This whole thing cost me way under $300, and I've got the versatility of having the picnic table as well. These vices were about 25 or 30 bucks a piece, and I think I paid 180 to have this picnic table custom built with extra reinforcements, all pressure treated lumber, and high quality plywood on the tops. And then I just laid everything out and drilled it so I have the workbenches. But there's nothing you can't do on this thing that you could do with a normal woodworking bench. And you have extra versatility with this thing in that as well, because you have a lower set of benches or saw benches you can work from that are connected to it. Plus you have the width that you can work on both sides of it with two different people working at the same time. And you have something that you can sit down with the family and have a barbecue picnic on. So it's a pretty cool idea. I just wanted to kind of share it with you guys. I get some questions now and then about, you know, the workbench that I'm working on or the picnic table that I'm working on. So I kind of want to explain to you guys where this idea came from. Again, it was built out of necessity. I was working with picnic tables anyway, and I started to realize how versatile they were for woodworking. And I thought, you know, if I incorporate the aspects of a woodworking bench and a woodworking saw bench into a picnic table and put a couple vices on it, then I really got something. And I haven't found any project that I can't do, from woodworking to anything else. If I put power tools up on top of this thing or what have you, portable band saws, portable table saws, things like that, there's nothing you can't do with this bench. So like I said, the accessories for this thing that I bought have pretty much either been made. You know, I've got a nail caddy here made out of scrap plywood. I have a small tool and nail caddy here made out of scrap plywood. And then these bench dogs and things that I've got here were purchased off Amazon. I bought these in a pair, and I think I bought these in pairs as well. I have another one that's inside my shop there holding something down right now. It's glued up. So I have 4 of these hold fast, and I have 2 of these bench dogs. And you could manufacture this stuff. I've showed how to make these on video at your forge if you've got a forge. If you don't, they're cheap enough to buy off the internet. They're about, I think these cast ones are about $10 a piece. If you buy forged ones, they're about 15 or 20 bucks a piece. But it's something that's going to last you forever, so you're always going to have it. But the versatility that a bench like this gives you to do lots and lots of different projects and work on is fantastic, especially if you have a lot of children that you're working with, or if you're working with your own children, or in my case, if you're working with your grandchildren and you're teaching classes. Well guys, I appreciate you joining me for this quick video today on this picnic table style workbench. I think it's fantastic. The more I work with it, the more I love it. I was going to build an actual woodworking bench, but the more I use this thing, the less I think I need it, and the more versatile this thing becomes. It's something you may already have in your backyard anyway. Throw a sheet of plywood on it, drill some holes in it for hold fast, put a couple vices on it, you really got something. I'm Dave Canterbury with the Pathfinder School. I thank you for your views. I thank you for your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our family, and for our business. For all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends, and I'll be back with another video as soon as I can. Thanks, guys.